The path less taken is supposed to be easy. That's why the people who are high achievers and have had great success in life work less, but play more and accomplish way more than the average person. And if no one ever showed you or taught you why working hard is bad, then no wonder you keep burning out. No wonder you can't stay consistent more than 3 days. No wonder nothing changes for you. That's why I'm making this video, because I want to challenge some of your beliefs about working hard. I want you to understand why working or even trying hard isn't the way to go, and I want to lead you down the path of trying easy, because that's where you will thrive. Now let me make a very clear point here. I'm not saying working hard is not a requirement for success. It is. You have to work hard, but even working hard is supposed to be easy, and we'll get more into that, but I just want to make that point so clear. Now most people, they immediately jump to working hard. Like my friend, we'll call her name Tariana. We'll call her Tariana. So Tariana bought this indoor bike, and we were talking about it, and she was like, I've been wanting to get back into shape. I've been wanting to just get more movement in. So I'm gonna hit this bike every day for an hour. And I was like, every day for an hour? Don't you think that's a little excessive? So she's like, you're right, okay. Then I'll do like 4 days for an hour. And I told her straight up, that's the worst thing you can do. Like, if you really want to be consistent with this thing, you want to do like 2 minutes a day. And she just couldn't wrap her mind around these 2 minutes a day. So she's like, nah, girl, I got this. I'm gonna do an hour, 4 days in a row. And you may be thinking, wow, why are you being so discouraging to your friend? And it's not that I was trying to discourage her, because there's been so many times when people tell me these things that I don't say a thing. And I know exactly what will happen. And I go up to them a couple weeks later, a month, and ask them, are you still doing this thing? And they are not. I was just trying to help my friend out, because I had seen this play out so many times, but she didn't listen to me. And then I checked in with her, and I'm not pulling on the downfall. I just know human nature. Month, 2 months go by. I hit her up. Hey, how's that biking been going for you? I don't do it anymore. She fell off. She couldn't stay consistent. Now for you, think about any song you played out. Think about it. Why did you get tired of that song? Why did you burn out from it? Was it because you listened to it too many times? I think about a song, you listen to it enough. It's not all the time, not excessive, it's not less, but it's just enough. You still rock with that song, you can still listen to it, because you're not going too hard on it. You can keep doing the most though. You can keep doing the most and experience that burnout that will continue coming after like day 3. Or you can build real consistency by doing less until you build the character of the person you can do more. And then you can do more without burning out, because you've raised the level that you're at. And that's what most people don't understand. When I talk about the path least taken is supposed to be easy, I'm saying yes, it's easy, because you're leveling up each stage instead of trying to go from I'm here and I want to be right here to just jumping to right there. You can't sustain that, so then you crash. What I'm saying is, you say you were here and you want to get here, so you get here by doing oop, boop, 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 boop until you made it. That's what makes it easy. But too many of us make it hard, because we try to do the most and get to where we want to be immediately, and then we fall off. We don't try to build the character. We don't try to raise up our foundation. We don't try to break out of the ceiling to make the ceiling the floor, to create a whole new ceiling. So I'm drilling this in because I really want you to be able to stay consistent and achieve great things, achieve whatever it is you want to do. It all starts with taking it easy. So how do you do this? Let's get down to the meat and potatoes. How do you take it easy? I'm sorry, I keep drinking water because I've been talking for like 25 minutes now. But I want you to think about one thing that you've been wanting to do. Now, years ago when I was first starting out with self-improvement, that one thing for me was writing. I wanted to be a consistent writer. So think about the one thing you want to do. Ask yourself, how can you spend less than 2 minutes doing it? For me, I told myself every single day I'm going to open up my computer, go to Word document, and type one word. 1 second. Anyway, I said that I was gonna go to my Word document and type in one word, and then close everything. That was my bare minimum habit. That took less than 2 minutes to do. That got me into writing. And the thing is, when you think about only doing one word, your first thought is, how does that make you a writer? You're not really writing anything. That was something I had, like, some resistance I had to deal with until I realized, or until I was reading through Atomic Habits, the book that made me realize a lot of the stuff I'm talking to you about now. I read that book, Atomic Habits, and the author made a very clear point that you're not trying to do the thing to make a lot of progress in the beginning. The thing you want to do more of, you have to build the character of that. Like, you have to build the character of the person who can show up consistently doing that thing. The thing is, a lot of us don't build that character because we try to do a lot when we can't sustain that, when we haven't built up the person who can do a lot. So we do a lot and then we burn out really fast. We fall off really fast. We aren't consistent. But what if you just built the character of the person who's consistent, who continues showing up to the thing you want to do, and you just keep giving yourself that proof that at some point you're going to show up and think, I can do more because I know I'm going to come back tomorrow. I've got that down pat. So then you'll do more, and then you'll show up tomorrow, and maybe you'll do less. But then the next day you'll do more, and maybe the next day you'll do more, and then you just start doing more and more because you're building up that character. That's literally what happened to me. I went from writing one word to writing hundreds of words every day, sometimes thousands of words. I ghost wrote an entire book for an entrepreneur because I got into the habit of writing by writing one word. So that's why I want to really drill this into you. Think about the one thing you want to do. Like, literally right now, as we're talking about it, think about the one thing you want to do, and ask yourself, how can you do it in less than 2 minutes? Maybe that's reading 5 pages of a book. Maybe that's stepping outside and just being out in the sun for like 20 seconds. Maybe that's stretching your leg for 5 seconds. Maybe that's doing 3 push-ups. Whatever it is, okay? The next thing you want to do, now you know what you want to do and how you'll do it in less than 2 minutes, write a plan for when you're going to do this and be very specific, okay? And to give you an example of how you can make a plan, you can either pair it with a time or something you already do. So for example, I paired writing with breakfast, something I already do. And I told myself, I can't have breakfast until I write for at least 2 minutes. And in that 2 minutes, I could just write one word. If I want to finish, I could finish. I could be done. So every time I thought about, okay, I want to have breakfast. Oh wait, I'm gonna write first. Open that laptop. Boop. If I want to do more, boop, I can go. And then eventually that spread out to I gotta write for 2 hours before I can have breakfast. But I started out very small. But reading, because I want to read more, I said I already drink water in the morning, so why not in the morning time after I drink water, I just read 5 pages of a book. Now there are certain times where I don't have an event, but I have time based. So whenever I go for my walk, 7 a.m. is the time where I go for my walk. So then when I wake up in the morning, I know and I'm doing whatever I want. But when 7 a.m. hits, hey, I'm out. I'm going for my walk. So time based or event based. So think about the thing you want to do that you're going to spend less than 2 minutes doing, and either pair it with a time at 12 I'm going to do it, at 1, at 8, or an event after I take my shower. When I wake up in the morning and go into the living room while I'm drinking coffee, like time or event. So if you've done this, go ahead and put your bare minimum plan in the comments. What's your bare minimum thing you're gonna do? This, whatever you're gonna do, is cook, clean, read, whatever. How you gonna spend less than 2 minutes doing it, and your plan for when you're gonna do it. Now, if you wrote this down on your notes, which I suggest you do, and I'll show you an example as well. I have one pop up on the screen of what this could look like. When you write your plan out, take a screenshot of it and put it on your wallpaper or your lock screen, because that'll make it easier for you to remember what you said you want to do. And the more you see what it is, you'll just naturally do it. Now, if you wrote it on a piece of paper and you just fold it up, put it in your pocket, and every time you put your hand in your pocket, you'll be reminded to open up the paper, and then you'll know what to do. All right. Now, at the end of the day, you can reflect on that schedule and ask yourself, what did you do? What didn't you do? And then make a whole new plan for what you want to do. And it may just be a whole repeat of the day before. And that's completely fine. But I just want you to get into the habit of being intentional about planning out what you'll do the next day. Because that's how you really get things done. That's how you really make things happen. And not only that, but just planning it out will allow you to actually do the thing you want to do. Because if you literally just thought about, okay, I want to do this thing and I'll only do this for 30 seconds, and that's all you do, that's all you say to yourself, when the time comes tomorrow for you to do it, you're not going to do it, because you're always going to say later, I have later, I can do it later, I can do it later. And that time will come and you won't do it. But when you get specific and you say, I will do this thing after this or at this time, it'll be 10 times easier for you to do it. And especially if you write it down or you put it on your lock screen. These things really help. They really influence things, okay? And I also suggest putting whatever you want to do closer and moving away whatever make it harder. So for instance, let's say you wanna do more push-ups, or like you want to practice yoga, but then put your yoga mat in your room or in the living room or somewhere you can easily get it. Let's say you want to read or work on a project or create something or draw or make some art, but you're so distracted by the TV. Unplug the TV. Take the batteries out of the remote. Put the remote in the top of your closet. Move it away so it's harder for you to do that thing, which will allow you to think and choose something different. And because you'll have your schedule made, you can look at it and say, oh, I'll do this. See how it all comes back together? Now, what if you want to do more than the bare minimum, than the less than 2 minutes? I would say don't, at least for a week. Be disciplined for the week and stick to less than 2 minutes. And then after that, if you want to do more, do more. But on the days where you just don't want to show up and you're like, and you're just feeling that resistance, do the bare minimum. The 5 pages, the 2 push-ups. Keep the consistency going. And when you do the bare minimum, give yourself a high five, because that is what truly matters. And I literally did the same thing not too long ago. I'm getting back into stretching my legs. I kind of fell off with the moving and everything. I fell off with a lot with the moving. But now I'm kind of settled back into myself, so I can kind of come back into myself. And I was like, I'll just start off with stretching at least 5 minutes a day. And even then, I'm telling you 2 minutes, but I'm saying 5 because I've been doing this for so many years. But that 5 minutes really did help because there are times where I just didn't feel like stretching, but I'm like, but it's only 5 minutes, that's nothing. So then I did it, and then there are days where I did 20 minutes of stretching and 30 minutes, and then back to 5. But as long as you're consistently doing it, that's all that matters. I do have a book on habits that I made, and I'll put that in my description if you want to go check that out. But I want you to understand one thing before I end this video. Every time you do the bare minimum, you are creating a new identity and you're reinforcing it. And soon enough, that identity will take over and you'll be able to do so much more without burning out. That's what the point of this is. So have trust in the process, and it will work for you. It worked for me. And if you want to know more, get the habit book I put in there, or just read Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he'll break it down even more for you. If you feel a change in mindset, subscribe. I have more videos coming out. Either way, I'll see you for the next video.